What are the chances of Moonvember still happening? Because everyone is still talking about a possibility of Q4, a bullish Q4. So what I'm looking at here is the Bitcoin chart because Bitcoin is still the driver of this crypto market. We have a huge monthly candle close coming. We're still getting mixed signals here, in my opinion, for this Bitcoin chart because based on September's green candle here, right? We still have not really retraced that entire green candle from September. So in a sense, that still looks bullish to me because we have not retraced September's bullish price action. If we actually close below 107.5, I want to say, then that is going to start looking more bearish on this monthly time frame. We have about 7 more hours to go, and based on what we have seen this month, I think a lot could happen in 7 hours. Now, the more bearish signal here is the weekly time frame, okay? Because we have still broken down from this bearish pattern here, this rising wedge, which the breakdown target would be almost 80,000. Okay, if we actually get all the way to 80,000, we're gonna be putting this bull cycle on pause because there's gonna be quite a bit of a steep way down. So very important to be paying attention to what is going on with Bitcoin right now. Now, there are quite a bit of support still underneath the price action, one of which is your weekly 50 SMA, which I don't expect it to be very strong support because Bitcoin has already touched down to the weekly 50 SMA, and this would be the third time if we revisit it again. And if you keep tapping the same support in the same trend, that will the support will get weaker every time. So I don't expect that to be very strong support if we actually go down to it, the weekly 50 SMA, that's currently at about 103,000, okay? The next real strong support I'll be looking at, though, will be the monthly 21 SMA. That's currently at about almost 86,000. Let's see how far it comes up. Does it come up to about maybe 90,000? Right? Then that will still be very strong support because we haven't hit that support for. This will be the first time in this trend. Let's also take a look into the daily time frame, which I can get a closer look on what this price action could be doing. We still need to break above this upward trend line here. Okay, this is the daily time frame. In order for us to see more upside here, we have to see Bitcoin break above this upper trend line. Otherwise, this could be forming some type of a falling wedge pattern. It could look something more like this. Okay, I'm just estimating right now, but that would not be good. That means we're gonna see more downwards price action for Bitcoin, downwards price action for a lot of these altcoins here. So look for this to break above this upper trend line. Otherwise, more downside expected. We still do have a higher low here on this daily time frame, which is still good because higher lows are the foundation for an uptrend. If we hold higher lows, then there's going to be, the next logical move is a higher high. Okay, let's see if that happens. There's quite a bit of resistance between where the price action is right now and the upper trend line of that upper trend line there, okay? So including all your daily moving averages. Let's take a look into a smaller time frame, 4-hour time frame. There is a potential double bottom pattern here from this bounce at about 106,000, okay? If the price action on this 4-hour time frame ends up with an equal or lower low on the 4-hour time frame, very likely there's going to be a bullish divergence scenario, which usually means that there is going to be a bounce. Okay, let's see if that happens, and let's see how far that bounce takes us. I am long on quite a bit of the altcoins here. I am still long on. I still have bullish opinions on these markets. With one of the main arguments being the Fed has just restarted its Fed rate cut cycle back in September. Okay, let's take a look into the CME Watch tool, where Let's refresh this. All right, well, we're still looking at over 60% of a Fed rate cut, okay, which is still good, but it's not as high as what we have seen back in before the Fed meeting, okay? So, if we don't get a Fed rate cut in December, I don't think the market's going to like that. And I don't think the markets are liking it right now because of that significant decrease in the Fed rate cut probability that has changed over the past FOMC meeting, okay? So that is something I'm paying attention to, but I'm still bullish on these markets right now because it still looks likely that we're going to get a Fed rate cut going forward. You guys let me know what you guys think because these are just my opinions only, like the entirety of this video, and it's not financial advice. Of course, you guys gotta form your own strategies and opinions. Let's go ahead and take a look into some news first. I'm gonna give you guys my reaction to some headlines, and then we're gonna be taking a look into a few altcoin setups, which would include XYO Network. XYO Network. The second one would be Degen, which is a requested coin by my viewers, right? If you guys have any requests for any altcoins reviews, let me know. I'll pick a request to do for you guys on a daily basis. We're also going to be taking a look into Sushi, okay? Sushi, XYO Network, and Degen later, but let's dive into some news first. All right, the first piece here is by You Today. It says 383, almost $384 million in Bitcoin stunned Coinbase. What is BlackRock up to? So basically, what this news is saying is that BlackRock has deposited that much money into Coinbase today. Okay, what is BlackRock up to? Now it says BlackRock has not made any sell moves yet, and the deposit on Coinbase Prime might be custodial or operational movements. So usually when you see a lot of Bitcoin on the exchanges, the possibility is that it's going to get sold into the markets, which is not good for the price action. So is BlackRock looking to sell this many Bitcoin because it has moved this much into Coinbase? We'll see, right? Because this news says here is it has not made any sell moves yet, and it might be just custodial or operational movements, but I will still be careful, right? If you guys want to read more about this news, it is in TradingView. You guys can find news and other resources. Traders sharing their opinions on TradingView, in addition to all the charts that you need to trade this market better. If you guys don't have TradingView, you guys need to get TradingView. I've been using it for the last 5+ years. I do have an affiliate link in the video description section below. If you guys sign up using my link, I will earn a commission, and that supports my channel. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and go to the next piece here, which is by Crypto News. The hidden cost of the charts. How crypto trading impacts mental health. Well, I can tell you firsthand, right? Let's read a little bit into this news first. This could be interesting. Crypto markets are infamous for their unpredictability. Bitcoin gets surged by 20% overnight, only to lose the same amount by the morning. Traders tethered to price charts and social media feeds often find themselves caught in an endless cycle of hope, fear, and regrets. Well, I can speak to that. Yeah, I always, I see hope a lot. I see fear less so than hope, right? Because I've just seen these drops so many times, and I have a contingency plan, right, in dealing with these drops. As long as I'm not over leveraged, I'm not too worried because I've seen coins come back like crazy. Regrets, I make mistakes in trading, right? Of course, there's going to be regrets, but I try to look on the better side of those mistakes. I try to learn from my mistakes. I put them down in my notes and plan on how to make the next trade better, right? I think I've kind of gone over the steep learning curve of learning how to trade. where I have caught myself making a lot of mistakes, and I've stopped making as many mistakes, which is good because as long as I'm improving, uh, then there's gonna be better trading opportunities, and my mindset here is to be here in the long run. And yes, mental health. I would say that I have been a lot less social, right? I don't go out as much. I have not been out as much. I have not had too much fun during these past years and a half. Every day is about survival, right? How to survive another day so I can wait for this market to actually move bullishly again. And I know it will because in the past 5 plus years, I've seen cycles end, consolidation, bull cycle, bear cycle, and I still think on the other side of this is still a great bull market. Okay, so this is I have gotten a lot more focused. Been drinking a lot more coffee than beer. So yeah, just every day it's the charts, looking at the charts, working to survive another day, working out, and that is basically it until this market actually gets some solid direction. Let's go ahead and go to the next piece here. But this is by You Today. Bitcoin's biggest critic Schiff calls Sailor strategy report fraud. I love the name calling. I feel like if you're speaking in public, you're always gonna get some hate, myself included. You'll get critics, you'll get hate, you'll get insults, but that is just a part of it. That's what you sign up for when you're a public figure, right? Of course, I'm doing it at a lot smaller scale, but I can only imagine if you're as well known as Michael Saylor. All right, let's come back here to the charts. Let's take a look into altcoins. XYO Network. See what's happening with XYO Network. Okay, weekly time frame. Talked about this last time. XYO Network broke out of this falling wedge back in March of this year. Price target still 3.9 cents. Price action still above this upward trend line of this pattern it broke out from, which tells me that this breakout is still valid. It has formed another falling wedge here, trying to stay alive by staying within this falling wedge pattern. What I mean is this. The weekly candle here, it does need to close within this falling wedge pattern. Otherwise, it invalidates this falling wedge pattern. Now, candle wicks do not invalidate patterns, okay? I'm talking about it on the highest time frame that this pattern is validated in, and I'm seeing on the weekly time frame that this could be the highest time frame that this pattern is validated in. If we actually end up like this, if we actually end up above 0.7, I would say 0.75 cents, then this pattern's still valid. However, if we actually close below this, this will invalidate the pattern. Now, let's just say if this pattern breaks out by next week, for example, okay, just for example, price target would be about almost 2.2 cents price target here for XYO. Now, price targets are estimates only. There could be more, there could be less, a lot of which does depend on what happens with Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin starts dumping from here, a lot of these altcoin setups, they're not going to matter very much. So very important to be paying attention to Bitcoin first. Let's go ahead and go to Sushi Swap token. Monthly time frame is the focus because I talked about a double bottom pattern here. One bottom from August 2024, second bottom from March of this year. If we actually end up closing like this, if Sushi Swap does not close above 57.5 cents, then this double bottom pattern not only is invalidated, but the bullish divergence here is looking like it's trying to invalidate the bullish divergence scenario here, which is not going to be good. That means there could be the downside for sushi here is more likely, right? You're invalidating these bullish signals. Double bottom and bullish divergence on this monthly time frame. Very important to be keeping an eye out on sushi right now. 4-hour time frame. Falling wedge pattern. Okay. Let's see if sushi can break out of this falling wedge pattern with the price with the price target here to be about 67 cents. Okay. Some possible bullish divergence scenario here on this 4-hour time frame. If it makes an equal or lower low comparing to this low here. But very important to be paying attention to sushi right now. Let's go ahead and go to DGen. Weekly time frame, DGen. Talked about this falling wedge last time. Still valid in the midsection of this falling wedge pattern. Falling wedges are bullish patterns that have a higher chance of breaking to the upside. If DGen breaks to the upside here, price target would be about 0.695 cents. Price targets, about there. Now, there is also downside possibility. You always have to consider the downside as well because nothing in this market is certain. We're all just talking about probabilities here. Let's take a look into a smaller time frame and see if we can get any clues on what DGen could be doing. 6-hour time frame. Falling wedge pattern. Okay. 6-hour time frame. Falling wedge pattern. Smaller falling wedge pattern. If DGen breaks out by this point, for example, price target would be about 0.28 cents price target. Possible bullish divergence scenario here if it comes down to an equal or lower low than this low here, right? We're looking at the RSI. So that's just basically what I'm seeing for these coins. Let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of DGen, Sushi, XYO Network, or any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe. I'll pick a request to you for you guys on a daily basis, and I'll see you on the next one.